So I decided this week I'm mostly going to be trying out different anime to replace the anime that has been either put on hiatus or whatever. So there will be no returning anime this week. There will be no, Tokyo Ramen's or Actor-Song Connection. Just be aware of that. However, I do plan on reviewing the Given movie this week because it will be going up on Crunchyroll. So, yeah, that's something to look forward to. I've been waiting to watch that for ages. But yeah, so today's review is one of the big three I was looking at, which is Spiritpact. I'm really excited about this one because I actually had given this a 2-episode try before, like years ago, and I dropped it because I didn't fully get what was going on. But now that I'm more familiar with, Chinese animation, I feel like I can, handle it a lot better. So yeah, we're giving this a few episodes. We're going to give it probably like 3 or 4 episodes because I want to obviously bypass the first 2 I had seen previously. But, so far I'm enjoying it a lot more than I had the first time. So, we will see. So here's my episode 1 review of Spiritpact. So, first of all, before I really get into it, I should add, I'm watching it on Crunchyroll, and I thought the voices sounded different than I remembered them being. And that's because I guess I'm watching the Japanese dub. I forgot this even had a Japanese dub. So, already I was like, they're not speaking at a quicker pace. They seem to be speaking at a more manageable pace. For me at least. So, yeah, I guess I'm watching the Japanese dub, which is cool. So my experience will be slightly different, I think, than those who have only watched the Chinese dub. So, and I think, don't quote me on this, but I think that the Japanese dub might be censored a little bit compared to the Chinese. So I guess we'll see as we go along in episodes. I just thought that was interesting because I just saw it when I was looking up to see who even voiced some of the characters because I was kind of curious. So, that's interesting. According to this, the character of Kikia, I'm not sure how his name is pronounced, the main character, is voiced by Yuichi Iguchi? Okay, that I have to be, like, really mispronouncing this. Who is he? Oh, okay. Yeah, so he's in, like, the big wind-up, Durarara, Bento, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. Oh, he's in The Devil's a Part-Timer. Yeah, see, I'm like, I know this guy. And I shouldn't be so familiar with this voice actor because I don't know a lot of Chinese voice actors. So, that's just very interesting. Maybe I will watch more of this. Oh, that sounds terrible. But I have noticed, just from watching the Japanese dub of MDZS compared to the Chinese dub, that I just follow it a lot easier. I don't know. But yeah, so back to actually talking about the, episode. So yeah. All right. So the main character, Keiko, you Keiko, I looked it up. It's Keiko. He is a fortune teller and he's very poor. His parents have been dead for years and he's just basically been struggling. And he used to come from a family of pretty powerful exorcists, but now he's basically just resorted to cheap fortune telling and fixing up spare electronical objects and stuff. And he is not happy with his life one bit. And nobody really seems to respect him. His misfortune further spreads when, during the middle of the night, he's searching for spare parts to use to fix some, I don't know, it looked like a VCR, but it probably wasn't, like a stereo or something. And he comes across this guy who's fighting a ghost, but he doesn't realize it's that. He thinks that it's like a movie or something, and there's like special effects that somehow he can see. I don't know. But he soon realizes, this might be a little dangerous, so he kind of books it. Now, before I go too further, I do have to adjust something that honestly was a little off-putting to me and may take some time to fully get used to. But our main character, Keiko, he makes some very cartoonish and oftentimes disturbing and off-putting faces. And I mean off-putting. And it doesn't happen like, you know, every 2 seconds, but it happens enough to where I'm just like, ooh, cringe. And I think, if I remember correctly, this is why I dropped it. I think it may have been these creepy faces. So, we'll see if I can get past that. But, anyways, he's so distracted in his thoughts and honestly just bitterness that he doesn't notice a freaking bus coming, and he turns and he sees it, and he just way too calmly stares at it before he gets hit and dies. I feel like if I were to turn around and I were to see the bus, I would have quickly tried to move, but it's like he doesn't attempt to. It's just like he's like, oh, a bus, oh well, crash, boom. So that was pretty ridiculous. When he comes to, he sees his reflection, and he's, like, way younger. I think that they said he looked like he's in his middle school, so probably, like, junior high years, whatever. And he just thinks he went back in time. And our other main character, Key, is like, no, you didn't. You're dead. You're done dead. You're a ghost. Keiko takes it about as well as you think that he would. And somehow he manages to go through all the stages of grief when a ghost realizes they're a ghost. All of them. In the matter of minutes. And it's honestly amazing. You know, even Key is impressed. He's even happy to be on the news. Because it's the first and last time he's on the news. We actually see how old he is and everything. And, you know, this screenshot just kind of further proves this has to be the Japanese dub, right? I'm not crazy. Also, if I'm saying his name wrong, let me know. I've looked up several different pronunciations on the internet, and it was giving me conflicting, but most of them say Keiko. So that's why we're going with Keiko. We find out some critical information from Key that a spirit ends up taking the form when they die of when they were at their purest and most happiest. And that's why he looks like a middle schooler right now, because that was the last time his parents were alive. All right, so correction. I found out from looking at this subtitle that I freaking was hearing it wrong. And also, I typed it in wrong when I double-checked it. It's Keika, because it's freaking A at the end, not an O. So his name is Keika. I am so bad with names. And not even just Japanese, English too, I swear to God. I'm sorry, this review is a bust. I'd re-review it at this point, but I don't have a lot of time. So, Keika. Oh, and we get our first BL-ish scene where he legit grabs Key's face and they're like looking down at each other. It was very sweet. Too bad it had to be ruined by more weird faces. But you know what? I'll take what I can. So, basically, Key is there because he wants him to become his spirit shadow so they can form a Spiritpact, the name of, you know, the anime. And he says if he doesn't form this pact, he will end up disappearing in 7 days. He'll just be gone. But Keika wants nothing to do with this. He's like, dude, I'm sick of serving the man. I'm not scared of anything. I'm not going to serve you. Forget it. He doesn't care. He even tries to see if he could be reincarnated by hanging around the maternity ward. And Key just drags him away. And he's like, you don't get it. If you don't do what I say and you linger past 7 days, you will turn into an evil spirit. Well, they're having their little disagreement, that ghost girl from earlier reappears, and she's not happy. So we do get a funny scene shortly after where Keika is trying to, placate the ghost girl's, fury by offering her, sweets and, bananas and durian of all things. And I don't know if you've ever been around durian, but I have. And it is very foul smelling and it tastes gross. So that really infuriated her in the end. And honestly, I would have been too. As they're having their little thing between, Key and the ghost girl, Keika ends up getting captured by, I guess the dark corruptness. And we find out that he's now officially going to be controlled by the ghost girl. And if he doesn't do something, Keika will be corrupted and become an evil ghost come, I guess, morning. Keika is dumped in the woods and is surrounded by a bunch of other evil spirits. And we find out that Key is greatly desired by all the other ghosts because, he's like an elixir of immortality for them, a food source. Keika ends up getting away from them after tricking him, claiming, that he's going to go get them for them, right? And he runs into Key, and Key is once again like, hey, put this ring on and, do the spirit pact with me, or else I'm going to kill you, After some reluctance, he finally agrees to put it on. And as Key is about ready to put on, we find out that that's not Keika. Not really. That's the ghost girl. And frickin' Keika was recaptured, I guess. This was very confusing to me and is back in, the evil, shadowy thingy. The ghost girl and Key start fighting, and it's looking pretty dire. Finally, after some pressure from Key, Keika does put the ring on. And then as soon as he does, this huge blast of light and power just erupts and practically stopping time, right? And through this, it looks like it gave Key an extra boost, and he's able to defeat the, the ghost girl. And the ghost girl looks like a normal girl again instead of like an evil ghost, and she starts pleading for her life. But Key's like, nah, and just destroys her. Keika is pretty upset by this and thinks that she should have been given a second chance. But then Key shows him, what her true form is. And the girl was an adult, and she was a mass murderer. She had no goodness left in her. She was an evil woman, and Key said he doesn't pardon murderers. After all is said and done, Keika is still pretty bitter about the fact that he feels like he was tricked into a partnership, but what's done is done. Key then informs him that they're on their first mission now, which is to go to the airport. Waiting at the airport is this beautiful, beautiful woman who, if I remember correctly, is actually Key's fiance. They have an arranged marriage to continue on the family line, and also she has healing abilities or something that can help support him. And I remember being very confused by this because this is technically a BL. And I was like, but he's already taken? So, I always wondered, is there a love triangle? Is it a three-way? Because from what I could tell, Key had no interest in this woman at all. And it's an arranged marriage. So, I don't know. It's a little conflicting. So, but, and I'm sorry I spoiled that for you guys who haven't seen past the first episode as of now. But, I mean, you might as well know now, I guess. But she's the fiance. It's an arranged marriage. So, yeah. I would like to know who this hunk is, though. Saw him in like the opening and I think maybe the ending credits. I don't remember. But yeah, he's there. And I'd like to know what his deal is because he looks like my type, is all I'm saying. But yeah, that's the first episode of Spiritpact. Honestly, I think that the one trouble it has going for it is that it was so slow and yet fast-paced at the same time. They were just cramming a lot, but it was at a very awkward pace. And again, sometimes the animation was a little cringy to me. I appreciate a little bit more than I did the first time I watched it, but yeah. I will be watching probably at least 4 more episodes before I make a full-on decision. It is not a long series. There's only like 2 seasons, and they're all up on Crunchyroll, looks like. So, at least it'll be easy to watch, and you guys can watch along with on Crunchyroll as well. Also, I did see that the manhwa that it is based on is available to read on WeComics, an app you can download onto your phone. I would strongly suggest doing that. I probably will start reading it as well after I get into enough episodes. So, yeah. On Tuesday or Wednesday, which is tomorrow or Wednesday, I will be reviewing 07 Ghost. So make sure you watch that in time for that, the first episode at least. So we're just going to kind of just dive in. Again, we are experimenting. So if I see any other things I want to do, I will, let you know, and so you guys will be aware of that. But for a while there, we might just be reviewing different animes and just kind of filling things out. I will get back to my other 2 main ones. Don't worry, guys. It's just, I needed a refreshing week, I needed this. But thank you for watching, guys. Comment down below what you think. Bye.